All right, Ricky, where are you
Hi,
today?
Mitch. Well, I'm finishing I think it's my third trip to the state this year. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it's my third trip. It's been a month, and I'm ending it in San Francisco. Tomorrow I'm heading back to Argentina, so I'm here sitting with a great view of the city.
There's
Probably
the city.
not
So
much,
behind you, that's
not
the
much.
Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah, not much to say, but there's the city behind the green field. Then you have the Bay Area, Alcatraz, and I'm sitting at the bench, and you can see right there the Golden Gate.
Wow. All
This is
major
where I am.
landmarks right in a row for you. Very
Yep,
nice.
that's it.
Well, so today we are starting up chapter three, which means that we would talk about the founding of Robotic Crew and starting up a new tech business, right?
We should, but I think we did last chapter like a month ago, and I had this feeling because I haven't seen it again, and I think we didn't even upload it yet. But I have the feeling that we talk about many other things. So we kind of went off reels, off road in that one.
We went
So
off
I
the
think
rails. That's right.
off the rails. So we need to go and do chapter two. I mean, this is the video for chapter three, but I want to talk about chapter two more seriously, so that we can add that information, that experience to my blog.
Absolutely. Chapter 2.5 today. Okay. So
Yeah.
if we
So yeah, I had a memo here. We should be talking about um we to recap. I took off. I left my biochemistry career, and I decided to go to the software business. We bought a company, a small company. We grew it. That was Reward Crew. We were doing excellent. We were working for the hospitality vertical, and suddenly, yeah, this chapter two starts here. We developed the company, the development, the good times, then the pandemic, and then stability to do step aside from the company. So, yeah,
That was bad times for everybody, of
yeah,
course.
yeah, but it was. I mean, there were a lot of software companies that did great because of applications that were very used during the pandemic, because they were useful to be in touch with people and to do many things remotely. Our case was the contrary. We bought this company that was founded in January 2019, I think, and there were six people working in the company. We bought it to two other partners, but then we started to uh, they went other ways in different times. That at that time we were four partners, and four collaborators, and we were working for the hospitality vertical, and then we were doing great. I mean, it was amazing. The company grew a lot the first year, like I don't know, four times that, and we were like 35, 40, 50 people at some point, and then the pandemic hit it, and it was awful
The
because
hit, actually.
okay, hit. It's not regular. Okay, so the pandemic hit, and it was not just any hit. It was a call with the customers saying we cannot pay. We are letting people go. We are putting on hold all the projects. So it was a nightmare. So what we did basically is we started developing applications that we could use during the pandemic, because we didn't know how much this was going to take. So it was not a good time, because we need to start creating new things. We started with AI at that point. That was a good thing. We did a great application for, you could use any camera to measure distance between people, and if they were using the mask or not, and if they were adults or children, and how many people was in a room.
Safety
So
precautions
in
during the
that
pandemic,
sense,
right?
yeah, in that sense, I think the company grew in knowledge and technically, and those guys are still working with us. So I'm proud that they did that, and we did that tool. But at the same time, we did a lot of bad investments in different startups that we exchanged development for shares. So anyway, when you invest in that way, you need to pay for the people, right? Because you're developing for the application, but you're not getting paid. You're getting paid with not with money, but with shares. So we spend a lot of money in three different tools that we thought it was going to be a good thing. One was this computer vision application. The other one was an app to do yoga from your home. That one grew up to 100, no, 1,000 users. But then I don't remember now. There were problems with the contracts. We had contracts with different gyms in the Bay Area, and the contracts went wrong, and at some point. So we decided not to continue that. It was more like we had a partner in the Bay Area, and the partner we didn't understand what she did, and things went bad. I don't know. We really don't know what really happened to that application.
Yeah.
And then
Ricky, sorry, quick thing. You have your
yeah, please.
microphone down here, so make sure that if you lean into it, it gets very loud.
Okay, okay, very loud. That was good. No hearing is bad. So okay, I'll get that in account. So basically that is chapter two. So
So chapter
what I
two
would
is
like to
where
say,
things shoot off with we develop and then come down as well, right? And you said the partners went their separate ways.
one of them went separate ways. Of course, we bought his shares, and we stayed being three partners, and we didn't let go anyone during the pandemic. I mean, we kept all the people. That was mainly because we didn't know really how long this was going to last, and really for us to get revenue again. I think the last revenue was February 19, February 2019, and the next revenue, the next invoice was February 2020. So literally, we were like a year investing in these projects so that our engineers had work to do. We were paying their salaries, but all these investments we did in different startups went wrong. So basically, we kept the people, and that's the beauty of the pandemic. We were very careful, and we took care of the people, and also that people give back that by staying with you, right? By saying, okay, this business persons, these businessmen are serious, so that built trust. That built a lot of trust in the team. I think that trust even lasts until today. And most of those engineers, and especially the good ones, stay with us. And yeah, they are like really good partners in business. It's excellent developers, engineers, and yeah, we still work with them. Um,
And so they formed the backbone of Robotic Crew, don't they?
Not really, no. They still working. We develop still exist as a brand and as a company, and is separated from Robotic Crew. and it will remain that way until we decide otherwise. Um, but yeah, robotic crew is growing. I would say more than we developed at this point. Yes, not because we develop is smaller, just because robotic crew is growing a lot, and robotic crew has this support thing that needs a lot of people. So perhaps it also feels like it's grown a lot because it is grown a lot, but it also you cannot not feel it because to do a 24/7 for one engineer, you need 15 engineers, right? So you will feel if you're doing things in work crew, you will feel that you're doing things. It's not that sometimes in IT you have one guy working in one project. It's very good business, but it doesn't feel like a big company, right? So I guess that what I want to say is that there are many things we learned in the pandemic. The first was that we at the company we have the partners we have low salaries, and I was a bit critic about that.
A
I
bit
wanted
critical.
to have critical, yeah, critical about that. But my partner, my business partner, he said we are in the good ones, but we need to think that the bad ones can come anytime, and it's always more difficult to downsize your way of life that upgrade it. And it was amazing because we had that conversation like in December, and I said, "There's no way we are going to do bad. We are doing great." We had like 45 hotels that we were building software for, and 3 months later, literally 3 months later, we were not getting any money. So, and we were paying for our teams, right? So I had that lesson that was excellent. Like we still have low salaries, the partners, the owners of the company, and it's really helpful because it maintains your feet in the ground, right? No matter how much success you have, you still have the you're grounded, right? And that's not my personality. My partner is the one that keeps me, with my feet on the ground. Um, yeah, that was one thing. The other thing is that you're doing good in software doesn't mean you're a great entrepreneur or a great pioneer. Because we thought that we as we were able to grow this company, that was a startup and a software company. We thought that we could grow any startup, and that's misunderstanding a lot of things. So we learned a lot about all the investments we did during the pandemic, and they went all wrong, all south. So I think that was another thing that I learned, and taking care of the people. Um, when you start a business or a startup or a company, the way you want to call it, it depends on size, but any size. When it's one or two people or 100 people, later after the pandemic, we grew up to 100 people. And one thing it comes after you decide to build a company, that then you have a lot of people depending on you and that follows you and that trust you, and of course it's a responsibility, but it's also a satisfaction, um, knowing that from one idea that you had, there is other people's life that are improving or are getting at least enough to live and grow their families, or some others are just having their first working experience. So maybe it's not about money, it's about experience and having the first job. We have all those cases and different situations for many collaborators, all good ones. and that's another learning from the pandemic and from building companies, right? So yeah, I think those are the main takeaways for me about the pandemic. Then let me see what other thing I have here. Um, yeah, so then it came a time of stability. We decided to not only to develop software, but also a thing that I wanted to do for a long time, but my partners didn't want to, was provide staffing because of my first experience in the software business was staffing within Argentina for Argentinian companies. There was a big chopper. Um,
Oh, we couldn't hear it
so,
actually.
oh, okay.
Very good
I
noise
couldn't.
cancellation.
Yeah, I couldn't hear myself. It was a big motorbike. So I guess what I'm trying to say is we started doing staffing, which was a good idea at that point, and that helped us with some customers, several customers, but mainly one that I became a close friend with from Texas. Um, as you can see, I have this thing that I become friends of my clients, right? Because you just met when you went with me to Raw Business, you met some of my friends from the US, and they are also were at some point clients, right? That's the way I relate to customers. I
Well,
see
I
this.
think if I can say, I think that the
Please.
trajectory of your life is eventually you want every person on the planet to be your friend. Clients.
I want to have
Uh,
a million friends. That's, I've done many years of therapy, and that's not coming from a good place. Let me tell you. Anyway,
good for
let's try to
business.
make, yeah, let's try to stick to the plan. So so I'm distracted now. I don't know what I'm talking about. So, oh, stability in a good time. So then we grew a lot again, and we were doing good, making some money, having our low salaries, but at the end of the year getting some money to, I don't know, to invest in your house or take your kids to trip, whatever. And I helped build many different areas in the company, like talent acquisition and human resources, people care, and human resources administration and people care, and customer success, and all those are related in a staffing company because you need to get the good people and people that the client needs, and it has to be the right person because it has to be a good person. Then it can be a good professional, so you have to check on soft skills, then tech skills need to match the needs of the client. And of course, we do English speaking test with from a guy that I like him a little bit, not very much. I think his name is Mitch. Could it be Mitch? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
something
remember
like
now.
that. Mitch,
Okay.
Mike, something in that
Michelo.
ballpark.
Michelo.
Somebody that you tolerate, right? You tolerate this man.
I think it's the opposite. I think it's the other way around. It's this man bears with me a lot. I don't know how many pills you take, Mitch, to bear with my humor, but you do. And sometimes even I think that you are enjoying it. So you're a great actor. So um, at some point, my other two partners, one more related to the technical side, and my actual business partner that is very focused on financial. He's the CFO. He is the CFO of both companies, like I'm the CEO of both companies, Robotic Crew and We Develop. And I was asking for them to do a new thing, to do something with robotics, and they were not really into it, but they did want me to go out of the everyday operation. I knew that much because there were some discussions, and of course, both of them uh, are great people and are very, 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 very well articulated and educated, and they're nice people. They're gentlemen. In comparison to them, I'm a caveman, right? But they are gentlemen, so they were really polite, and I knew what they were thinking, but they were saying, taking the long way in the conversation, just to say, we need you to step aside because you built everything we needed you to build, but you are you're getting in the way of the company. Like I'm a very controlling guy, and transactional, and I'm very demanding in terms of the work quality, the deliverables, and it's really it's not easy to work with me. That's fair to say. So I knew that, and I knew that they knew that I knew, and but it was the big elephant nobody speaks in the room. So I just said, and one of my partners, the partner I have now, um, he said, I went to Antarctica, and I went in a research vessel to Antarctica with a friend, and I saw a lot of robots. So maybe what you say about robots, because I went to the South and Southwest some months prior to this meeting, and I saw some robotic companies, a French robotic company. I will talk about that in the next chapter because the conversation to me was amazing, and that's the beginning of the idea to build Robotic Crew was before this conversation with my partners. This was the end of that chapter in my life for We Developed. Then I built Robotic Crew, and then I'm back managing Robotic Crew, and We Developed at the same time. Mostly like they do the same thing for different verticals, right? So I mean, they're pretty different one from each other, but at the same time they're alike. So they just suggested very slightly that I could took time to research in a new idea for a new company, and I was like, "Hey, I'll do it right, you know, right away. Uh, we can start on Monday." And they started, no, but we can do a transition, maybe 2 or 3 months. No, 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 no. Today is Thursday. On Monday, I'm no longer, doing anything at the company. I'm going to go all in to research if there is something we can do in the robotics vertical, and that took 2 years of my life to research the market. I did it with friends at the beginning. The thing was, you can do it, you can keep getting your salary, but you are not getting any money for any other thing, right? That lasted like 3 months. But I started. It was very funny because I started pitching my idea to some friends, and they wanted to help me for free. Like, so I had a cousin that lived in Arkansas that was helping me at that time, Adrian, and Francisco, support engineer from Siemens that was in Siemens when I was the customer, the lab director. I was a big customer of Siemens, so we had a great friendship because he solved a lot of problems for me. So we became friends. When I told him about this, he said, "Yeah, I'll help you for free." And Fernando Labastida, that he still works with me at some point in helping me to build success cases, material, and stuff like that. It's a great marketing guy from Austin, Texas. And who else? Romeo's father. Romeo, my right hand, my apprentice. His father was the sales manager for Argentina for Abbott, which was a different provider, different vendor in my laboratory, and I also became friends with him because I couldn't really, get many profit from Abbott because he was dealing very well with
Not
me.
much profit.
Not much profit. He was a great salesperson and a great negotiator. So dealing with him was really hard. So I became friends with him.
If you can't beat them,
And
join them.
yeah, and it was like, man, I admire you. You're the only guy that I cannot break. Yeah, literally, I could break any other vendor. I could get whatever I wanted from any other people, from any other vendor, not from him. So yeah, what I did was tell him the idea, and he said, I'll help you for free. Eventually, and also Martin, which is a PhD and a very smart guy and very related to business businessman. So eventually, some of them left for different reasons, but Romeo joined, and Martin and Fernando, they lost their jobs, and they started after that. They started really working for me and getting paid. At that time, I was a year and a half in robotics research, and we were actually building the company. And then, of course, my budget was not a big one, so I could pay them some good money, but not. There were other companies chasing for them, and they got a better deal. So they left, but we are still friends, and we still keep talking and talking about whatever they are doing and I'm doing. And yeah, then I started to grow. I got my first client. I built the first team. We had all the problems that you have when you have 100 people working for you. We had them all in 3 months with 4 people. And I know this because I reach a big number of collaborators in the laboratory. So I said, this is very, very weird because it took me like 3 years to have this problem in my first company. I had the problem like 2 weeks in. So I think that that's because business is getting faster. So I had all the problems I had with my first successful company. I had it in 3 months. It took a decade to have all those problems in the first company. I had them all in 3 months, right? So that made me think a lot because I had a burnout. I was a workaholic before. I eventually got a worse disease that now I'm I don't want to mention it, but I'm cured now. And so
It
that
took
got
its
me
toll on
thinking.
you. We can say that took its toll on you.
Yeah, it took my, yeah, how should I say it? It took my tools
Oh,
on
sorry.
me.
It took its toll on you.
Stall. It took its toll on me, and yeah, it got me thinking. Is this going to be another laboratory? I don't want that. So this is basically why I have very young people surrounding me, and I'm teaching them because I know at some point I will not be able to deal with the pressure. I will not be able to deal with the demand. I will not be able to deal with the everyday operations, and I know that, and that's great to know that. So I'm building teams with very, very young and very talented people. All of them more intelligent than me, and but better looking even. Federica is great, and she's a lioness, and Romeo is a tiger, and many other guys, right? Well, these people that work with me are really young, talented people, and I have a core team of managers that I know them for many years, and they're just each one of them is great at what they do, right? So I built a team that surrounds me and works with me. That all of them are better than me in their specific matter, in a specific field, but in general also. So I guess that's what I'm getting ready for. I'm getting ready for really grow Robotic Crew to a very big level, and keep, you know, high level decision making place, and leaving the fun stuff to younger people, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Well, so
that's
sorry, I'll cut
that's
you
the
off here.
story. Yeah, that's the story. That's the story on we developed becoming a successful company, but with its limitations. And it's a company that works. It works perfectly good. But I just got out of the operation. I dedicated myself to build a robotic crew that we can talk in the next chapter. And then, um, as robotic crew is growing a lot, I'm also taking the lead in we develop, because it's better to have like one mind that sees the whole picture, right?
Yes, yes. One person steering the ship, perhaps.
Perhaps,
Well,
like you
no,
said, perhaps I'm trying
sure.
to steal the steer the wheel of the boat. I
Yes.
think of robotic crew, and crew, crew relates to a ship, right? But I don't think that robotic crew is a a ship that goes in the surface. I think it is a submarine somehow. I don't know why, but I
That's
have
good. I was
that
waiting
in my
for the
mind.
explanation. No, I see that too. Definitely. I mean,
We can do it
if
in
the
another
background
chapter.
is nothing else.
What okay, yeah. Um, yeah, we can talk later about why do I see it like a submarine. I need to think about that a little bit.
That's the key question for next time. So yes, until
Okay,
then,
man.
thank you very
Okay,
much,
my
Ricky.
my my friend. Thank you to you, and I hope that you're back in Portland and you're safe. And I hope that I can see you next week drinking mate. Drinking mate that I miss a lot, and from my house with my family.
No, yes, I hope that we will see each other in each other's element very soon.
Very soon, very soon.